Hello, everybody. This is BelleACosplay from Raise Your Game Esports, and today we have an amazing guest today, Joy. How are you, Joy?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Joy is a very awesome person. She's a very talented cosplayer. She's one of the most avid gamers ever. Are you excited?
I am. I'm so excited.
Awesome. So so what got you into cosplaying? Like, can you tell us your journey, your cosplaying journey from your humble beginnings to where you are now? How did you get to where you are now?
Well, everything pretty much stayed humble first. um, but I started cosplaying in 2009, and I first went to my first convention in 2007, and it was a really small convention in Durham, North Carolina. But when I got there, I had never actually heard about conventions and cosplay. And when I got there, I was just like, "Oh my gosh, people actually dress up like the anime characters! What is this? What is happening?" And so from there, it was just kind of like a way to be creative and just express myself, and just a fun hobby to do. And I mean, I've gone from buying cosplays online and those horrible Party City wigs to now acting things and styling things, and it's pretty crazy, but it's so fun. It's really awesome.
Awesome, awesome. And have you been able to travel all over for cosplaying, all over to different places?
I've been to different states. I would love to go international, but I haven't done that quite yet. But I have been to different states, and I've been to some of the bigger cons. Like I've been to KatsuCon up in Maryland. That one's pretty intense. It's definitely a little overwhelming sometimes, but it's also great motivation to just kind of get better at it.
Awesome. And what is your favorite character to cosplay as? Like, do you have a favorite character?
Um, I don't have a set favorite character, but probably one of my most recent favorites is she's a character from Blaze Blue, which is a fighting game. Her character name is Makoto. She's a little squirrel girl. She's very cute, and she's kind of like me in a little bit. If I was to be in a fighting game, like she's very energetic and she's very protective of her friends, and she kind of goes overboard a little bit. But I mean, who doesn't?
Oh yeah, I understand that. And so when you go to these events, like, do you make any friends? Have you made a lot of friends at these events?
Yes, I've actually made most of the people am friends with now at conventions. Like it's really something special. When you go to conventions, it's like you can just kind of feel that everybody's there to just chill and be nerds and nerd out, and it's really good for a lot of people who are not very good at social settings like myself. I don't deal well with the typical social settings like bars and stuff like that. So I do make most of my friends at conventions because you already have that same connection, that same interest. So it makes it a little easier for people to get to know each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how long does it usually take to make a costume? Oh, by the way, do you make your costume handmade, or do you buy your costumes from like a store or off the shelf?
Well, it depends on the cosplay, but typically if I'm going for a specific character, I do make most of mine now. But if not, sometimes what I'll do is I'll buy bits and pieces of different outfits and just kind of rework them and reincorporate them into a cosplay. Um, and sometimes that actually helps, because a lot of characters have these really crazy and eccentric types of costumes, and 3D people can't really pull it off like 2D people can sometimes. So it's definitely easier to kind of moderate the costume itself. But yeah, I definitely have started learning to make most of mine now.
I see. And what made you like switch from getting costumes off the shelf to making them?
Well, like I said, some of them they come in the pre sizes, and different body types don't always fit everyone, even though they say most size fits all. That's typically not the case. So, and then especially with female characters, a lot of them are very tight and sometimes can be uncomfortable and sometimes can make people feel uncomfortable. And cosplay should definitely be about feeling good and getting into character. And it's important to really put your own kind of twist on it. So I would just prefer to, put my own little stamp on it.
I see. And have you had any challenges or setbacks as you progressed through your cosplaying journey?
As far as actual costumes go, or do you mean like interactions?
Just in general, like any setbacks, any challenges. Have you had any hurdles or any challenges you had that you had to overcome when you were starting out up until now?
Well, definitely it's a challenge as far as skill level goes. I mean, it's a learning process. Some people make their costumes, some people still buy. Either way, it's fine. There's no problem with either one. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But me personally, I choose some characters who I identify with, and unfortunately, a lot of their costumes don't come in my size, which kind of goes back to me saying that I will try to rework costumes and try to make them or moderate them to fit my body type. And I mean, I haven't really had any negative or bad experiences. I mean, there's been the typical costume falling apart at the last minute moment, but that kind of comes with it. I kind of try to be prepared as much as I can. Just extra sewing kit and friends who are there to help you at the last minute. But
Mm,
yeah, it's not too many incidents. I don't remember offhand. So
okay, all right. And so you also game too. You're also a gamer as well, right?
I do game.
Yes. What's your favorite game?
Well, right now I'm playing GTA 5 with a few of my friends. We have like a little crew, and so we try to get online around the same time so we can hit these missions and get our skill levels up. But typically, my favorite type of gaming is probably like the fighting platforms, like anything from Mortal Kombat to Street Fighter, stuff like that.
Nice. Have you cosplayed as anybody from those games?
I have. I've actually cosplayed as Jade for Mortal Kombat, and just recently I did my own version of Raiden from Mortal Kombat. And I have done one character from Street Fighter. It was Sea Viper.
Oh yes, I love Sea Viper. Sea Viper is so cool. Oh my god, Sea Viper. Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my
that was one
god.
of my first ones. That was a pretty fun cosplay.
So do you go to a lot of tournaments for these fighting games?
No, I have been to a couple tournaments only because a couple people I know have played in them, but I don't really do the tournaments. I'll support and I'll go, but
All right.
I don't really participate in the tournaments because I'm still a little beginner. And I don't want to get my feelings hurt too much.
Hey, as long as you have fun, that's all that matters.
Right.
What was the biggest event you've ever been to?
The biggest event. Um, Well, I'll say as far as conventions go, I went to my first actual gaming convention not too long ago. I think it was last year or a year before last. It was a Smash Con. That was really
Mm.
fun. It was actually fun to see not just cosplay, but just to see gamers and just to see competitions and people just coming together and just getting 'Cause gaming gets quite serious.
Oh
People don't
yeah.
really believe that it does, but it gets really intense sometimes. So
Yeah, gaming is intense. Like I'm so like, oh my god, I go to Super Smash Brothers tournaments all the time, and you'll be
yeah.
surprised at the competition, at the level of fierce competition there is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually watched a lot of them on Twitch sometimes, and I'm just like, I'm surprised that no one's lost an eye at these things.
And have you collaborated with people before?
Like cosplay wise.
Yeah, either cosplay or gaming wise, any wise, any wise.
um, yeah, I'm always down for collabs when it comes to cosplay. I love group cosplays. I love partner cosplays, whatever. And hopefully by next year, I actually would love to get into live streaming video games.
Mm. Using which
Yeah.
platform, YouTube or Twitch?
Okay. Well, I would probably start with Twitch only because I don't fully intend to do like the video cam. I mean, eventually I probably will, but I want to like focus more so on the actual gameplay. So I'd probably just do audio.
Oh, just audio. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Cool. Cool. If you
Yeah, I feel
ever.
like I wouldn't be very entertaining to watch. So I was just like, I'll see how it feels first to
Mm-hmm.
play the game and see if people respond to the games, and then if certain events happen, then I might maybe have like one night where I get on in like a costume or something and just do video.
If you ever need help setting some like the video aspect, just let me know.
Oh, trust me, I will, because I will need help.
Yeah, I'll help you with the video aspect because I know how to do the video, like video editing, video stuff. That's interesting.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I love watching streamers. I love watching different types, because people play different types of games, and it's really fun to just watch what someone else likes to do, and you have the audience interaction, and it's just seemed like always just a fun concept to me.
Who's your favorite streamer?
um, I actually watch one streamer. He used to, well, he still does YouTube, but I followed him from YouTube to Switch. He's Cryotic. He has, like I said, he started as a YouTuber, and he does um a group collab on Saturday nights. Just like I forget the name of it because I haven't watched it in a while, but it's basically him and a group of his friends every Saturday night, and they just play different video games, and it ranges anything from they've done Minecraft to like um, I forget the name of it, but it's different games that they do, and they just seem like they always have so much fun.
Mm. Yeah, and it's all about having fun. It's all about
Right,
having fun.
exactly.
Yes. Yes. And it's so cool to see all these streamers just like get together and just do what they love on a daily basis, and it's
hmm
fantastic.
I love it. It's awesome. I never thought I'd live to see the day where gaming is like a profession.
Yeah. And you could also use Twitch for cosplay too,
That's true.
to
That's
like
true.
showcase
Hopefully,
how you
like,
make
yeah,
stuff. Oh, continue,
yeah.
sorry.
Hopefully, once. Oh no, 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 you're fine. Hopefully, once I get better at it and have more time to actually sit down and make things.
All right. So, what is your most memorable moment at any given event? What's your most memorable moment that was like the best moment you can relive at any event you go to, whether it's for cosplaying or whether it's for gaming or any other event, like whatever? What's the best moment?
Oh boy, so many good ones. Best moment. Um, I would probably say it was the first official year, 2009, when I did um a Bleach cosplay, because back in the day that was everybody's show. Um, I was a part of a group cosplay with some people that I had met on the actual the cons forum page. We were saying that we were going to meet up because we had the whole group. My character was Halibel. She was one of the what is she? Espada from Bleach, and
Nice.
yes, it was my first one, and I was so excited. And when I got there, um, not only did we have other Bleach people, but I actually had the other cosplayers in the actual group of her group. Like she has like three followers and like another person. And we got there, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, we're all here!" And that was like my first real like this is the cosplay community moment because to this day I'm still friends with all three of those girls and we still talk online and we talk about us running around at the convention just doing things in character and it was really awesome. I think that's what really got me hooked onto like cosplay and meeting people and conventions.
Are you planning on collaborating with them in the future?
I would love to. I think one of them has moved to another state, so if we ever link up, that's definitely a thing. And the other two, they have so much going on, but we don't really go to some of the same cons as we used to. But yeah, for sure. I'm like I said, I'm always down to collab and do other cosplays with people. Like it's so much fun when it's in a group, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, because you know what they say with friends. What was it? Oh yeah, birds of the same feather flock together. So yeah, like
Exactly.
and everything's better with friends.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. And okay, so I have a question about cosplaying in general. So like in
Okay.
general, can okay, are cosplayers do they have the opportunity to get sponsored by like different organizations to go to different events and stuff like that, or in any capacity?
I think it depends on how far you want to go with the cosplay because some people use it just for hobby and some people do make, a career and money out of it. But it is possible to get sponsorships to go to different cons and I mean that would probably be something, if it happens for me, that's great. But, I'm just really just doing it because it's just fun and it's just something to keep me, going crazy from work.
I see. All right. Good. I'm so glad. Like, this is a very eye-opening discussion. Like, I'm learning so much about a whole like different world as the creator. Like you're like a content creator. You're
Pretty
literally a
much, yeah.
content creator, and it's so good to see you put your passion into like real life. Like for example, I saw this really good Kamiya from have you heard of Kamiya
From
from
Gurren
Gurren
Lagann?
Lagann? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
saw this amazing Kamiya cosplay like a few months ago at this one at Toricon in Rochester, and it was
hmm
amazing. It was like the best cosplay, one of the best Kamiya cosplays I've ever seen. So yeah, it's just so awesome seeing you and seeing all the other cosplayers just put your passion into like real life and you can and one can tell that you guys put a lot of work in it. So yeah, congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I still consider myself, somewhat of a novice, but I do what I can.
All right. So now to ask a question on the gaming side of things. So can you tell me what got you into gaming and what got you into esports, if any, like gaming or esports, whichever one you do, like what got you into it?
Well, what first got me into gaming, was just seeing my brother play. I mean, I was a 90s kid, so back then, girls playing video games wasn't really a thing. So it's pretty much whenever he was done with his games, I would, sneak in and be like, okay, it's my turn now. And I have a couple of friends who are part of the esports gaming, so that's what really got me interested into, wanting to know more about this and seeing is it just gaming or, and they were very passionate about what they do, and it just kind of made me really kind of say, okay, well, cosplay is cool, but there's actually more to the world of gaming than a lot of people know, and I'm still learning about it myself. So, I mean, it's really interesting to see just how passionate people are about different gamings and different platforms and things like that.
So, what's your favorite platform? Or what's your favorite game?
Well, I know I'm gonna hurt some people's feelings right now. um, since I have done this platform for the longest, I will say PlayStation only because that's been like the majority of the systems that I own. But of course, there's always going to be PC Master Race. I mean, eventually, once I get that up, that's probably going to be my main platform. But for right now, it's PlayStation. I mostly get on PlayStation 4.
Oh, PS4. Yo, I have a
Yeah, I have a
PS4 as
PS4.
well. This is
Oh yeah.
exciting. Yeah, I'm a PS4 too.
Awesome. Yeah, I just recently got it this year. I was trying to wait until, more games came out that I actually wanted to play till I got it. But yeah.
Wow, I'll send you my PSN later. Like, this is
Yes.
exciting. Oh my god, like, wow. Wow. PlayStation 4, like, I know there's PC Master Race and stuff like that, but like, PS4 I love my PS4 so much. Like, I love it
I
so
do
much.
too. I'm
Nice.
Sony loyal. I'm sorry.
What was your first system?
Well, the first one that I actually owned was the PlayStation 1 because that was the hand-me-down that I got from my brother.
Oh, okay, okay. And what game did you play? Like, what was the first game you played for PS1?
Well, see, every time I say this, no one ever knows what it is. But the first one that I actually bought myself was a video game called Silhouette Mirage. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I've never heard of that. Can you tell me about it? Can you tell
Yes,
me about
see,
it?
it's so cool, and it's apparently like not very well known, but it was a Japanese game, and basically you play as this little girl, and she is pretty much she's kind of like crafted to be the savior of like this world that was split in two after like a nuclear war or something, and there's these little creatures. It's not really like the typical. It's literally like if someone made up an anime and then they just said, okay, make this into a game. Like it's really interesting. If anybody wants to like look up YouTube videos on it, but it's called Silhouette Mirage, and basically everyone in the world, their DNA is split between the silhouettes and the mirage, and the main character has both attributes in her body, so she can battle both, and she can also drain energy from both.
Oh, now I gotta check this game out. Like, and is it
It's so
anime
cool.
style too?
It is. It's actually like the opening of it. It looks like a legit anime. It's so cool.
Is it an RPG? Is it fighting? Like, what
It's
genre?
basically a fighting platform. I mean, it's pretty much like side scroller. You just kind of battle different bosses and
Mm.
boost up, and you can get different little power ups throughout the game and stuff like that.
And are there storylines in the game?
Yes, there's like two of the main bosses are like brothers, and they both basically like pit one against the other, and it's crazy. It's literally like an anime in game form.
Nice. Now that's exciting. I'm gonna try play. I want to see if there's a way, like maybe on the PlayStation Network, or if there's a way to play that game. I want to play it now. I want to play it so bad now. That's an
I
awesome
think they
game.
have like a couple copies on eBay, but I think they're like expensive because there's not a whole lot of copies of the game. Apparently the game is like very underground. So
All right. So you have, but you kept your copy, right? You didn't sell it or anything like that, right?
well, see, I didn't get rid of it. I think my brother accidentally got rid of it because I couldn't find it after he took the PlayStation. So I don't know where it is.
Oh, that would be like if you had that, you would have had like a hidden gem, like a hidden gem
I
of a game.
know, dude. I'm so sad about it too because I think like when I went on eBay, I think it was like $70 or something for that game.
I see. I see. Yeah, I understand. I understand why it would be that expensive. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty
wow,
awesome though.
wow. So, what's the next event do you plan to go to for any cosplay or gaming?
Mm, probably the next one would be NC Comic Con in Durham. I don't know if anybody is in North Carolina or Durham, but that one might be my next one just because during the fall I try to take a little break, because I just kind of go to whatever pops up. But if I'm actually going to plan for one, I would love to go to MagFest. That's actually like my goal. I think that one's in Maryland, Gaming Con.
Magfest. Yes, I've heard great things about that place.
Yeah, it seems really
Wow.
cool.
Are you gonna cosplay in any one of these events?
I mean, if I go, I'm cosplaying, of course.
What are you gonna cosplay as?
Oh, I don't really know. I don't really have anything planned yet. I mean, if anyone has any, suggestions, I'm open, but I don't really know right now. I just kind of go with whatever right now.
By the way, I love your Black Panther cosplay. It was so cool. Like I saw it and it was amazing. Like
Oh, thank
it was so
you.
real. Like it was the realest Black Panther I've ever seen. Like wow, like it was the best. Like you have an amazing Black Panther.
Well, thank you. It was actually one of my cosplay friends, Charlie Rocket cosplay.
Oh, get,
She had
by the way,
yeah.
guess who I podcasted with yesterday?
Did you really?
Yes. Oh my god. And then I'm podcasting
Yes.
with Jenna Say What on Friday.
She's awesome too. I've met her. She's really cool. But yeah, like she hit me up and she was just like, "Hey, I have these two Black Panther suits. I'm gonna do Killmonger. Can you do Black Panther?" And I was just like, duh, yes, I would love to do that. So we just kind of randomly met up and went to the NC State campus on Raleigh, and we just did a little photo shoot, and it was really awesome. And I love those suits. They're actually really nice.
So she did Killmonger.
She did Killmonger,
Whoa,
and I was Black Panther.
that was cool. Oh my god, I need to see these photos. Like that looks awesome. That looks so cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely send them to you. I think they're like on our Instagram somewhere.
Okay, I want to see them because that was like okay, because you have a real Black Panther. You have an amazing Black Panther.
Oh, thank you. Eventually, I'll probably get the suit myself. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's very very nice. I love those suits.
Guess who I'd cosplay? By the way, guess. Okay,
Ooh.
I want you to guess who you think I would cosplay.
Okay, is there a hint to this?
No, just guess. Like who you think I would cosplay.
um, I'm going to say this is randomly off the top of my head. Captain America.
Not Captain America.
Okay, is it Marvel?
It's not. It's not Marvel. Well, no, it's. Well, actually, there are a few characters I would cosplay. As soon as you mentioned Marvel, I'm like, there's one character I'd cosplay as very well, and I can cosplay as one DC character, and then I can cosplay as one gaming character. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I don't want you to like think too hard. All right, I'd
Okay.
cosplay. Okay, one character I'd cosplay is you know that Hawk dude from what was it from Avengers, the guy that flies like a hawk,
Oh,
and
Falcon.
yes, yes, I'd cosplay as him.
Awesome.
I would also cosplay as Cyborg from Teen Titans
Okay.
all day, and then I'd cosplay as Master Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts.
Nice. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
So, okay, well, in Marvel, then, is there anyone else you would cosplay as? Because I actually know, based off of uh, photos, I feel like there's another one you can definitely do.
Which one?
Have you ever heard of a character called Blue Marvel?
No. No, I have not.
See, okay, now this is probably where it's going to pique your interest because I learned about this guy this year. There's a character named Blue Marvel, and he is um pretty much awesome. There's someone who knows way more about Marvel. I'll definitely link you guys if that's something you're interested in. But he's a African American man who was actually around for like the racist parts of our history, and
Mm.
that they incorporated that into his story. So he got superpowers, and um, his best friend at the time actually became a villain because he didn't like the way they were treating his friend because he was African American.
Oh, his
So
best friend became a villain
yeah, like he
because.
became a villain because he didn't like how people were treating African Americans at the time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's actually really interesting. I would
Mm.
definitely send you some info, but yeah,
Yeah.
look up Blue Marvel.
I
He
look.
is
I
awesome.
just looked him up right now. Like he's legit.
Yeah.
He's
So that's
electric, right?
definitely
He
awesome.
has electric powers.
I think they're similar to like energy powers.
Okay, because the first
So
thing I thought,
something,
what the first thing I thought when I saw the electricity was Static Shock. Like Static. Do you remember that show?
I do remember Static Shock. That was my show.
Yes, that was my show too. It was so cool. It was amazing.
It was.
So, what do you okay, do you have any advice you would give to anybody starting out in like cosplaying, like any beginner, like any pure beginner? What advice would you tell them?
Um, I would say just go with what makes you happy, honestly. I mean, we all begin somewhere. Don't don't criticize yourself, don't compare yourself to someone else. Do what makes you happy, do what makes you comfortable. Start at your own comfort level. If there's a character that you want to cosplay but maybe you feel like you wouldn't physically feel comfortable in their costume, switch it up. Do something that's like their character, but maybe in like a seasonal theme or something. Like I've actually done, I did Hinata from
Mm.
Naruto, but because I didn't really care for her outfit, instead I did like a Christmas version. So like I went out
Okay.
to Party City and got like a really cute Christmas dress, and I had the hair, and I had the contacts, and I had the little headband, and you can just do stuff like that if you don't feel comfortable um, doing exactly what somebody else is doing. Do what you feel comfortable with. Cosplay is not by the book. Cosplay is
Mm.
all about putting your own flavor and your own twist on these characters. Like that's the whole point. It's how you see it.
Oh yeah, and I was talking to a friend about like breaking racial barriers between like picking who to cosplay. And when you
Hmm.
mentioned that you cosplayed as Hinata, I'm like, that's interesting. Like, and my other friend, he's African American, but he cosplayed as like Neji or something like that. I'm like, wow, that's
Hmm.
fantastic. Like, do you have any thoughts on that?
Um. Yeah. I mean, it's truth be told. I mean, you're always probably going to get somebody who has something to say, but I mean, let it be water off a duck's back. You do what you want to do. Do the characters you love. Do the characters that mean something to you, and don't worry about what other people have said. There have been a couple of comments, that I've seen on other cosplayers' page that criticize them for doing a character that's not typically dark skin, and it's just ignorance. I mean, it's you're going to have ignorant people anywhere you go. Don't let that stop you from doing what you love to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well said. Very well said. It's about the personality. It's about the
Exactly.
energy behind the cosplay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Well said. That was well said. Oh my gosh. I wish I could. I can. I'm gonna quote you from now on. Like that was the
I mean, it's
best.
cool.
That was the best quote. Like I'm gonna tell that to all my friends who say, "Hey Bowie, hey Bowie, how come you plan to cosplay as all these superheroes who aren't black?" I'm like, wait a minute, come on.
Well, and my favorite argument whenever that does come up is I love to do that. Anyone who says anything about like Dragon Ball Z, because I always say, well, technically you can't do half the cast because half the cast are aliens and we're not
Yes,
aliens. So that means you can't be Goku.
exactly. You can't be Goku. You can't be Vegeta. You can't even be Gohan. And Gohan is like
Right.
half. Gohan is half
Exactly.
alien. So it's like, and that means you can't do Superman. Oh,
Exactly.
and then
See,
there, and then
when you start pointing out loopholes, a lot of people start to stop talking.
yeah, and then there's like other characters like Sinestro. Sinestro is not even human. Like Sinestro looks like a gremlin.
Exactly. See,
You know
exactly.
Sinestro, right? Like from
Hmm.
the Green Lantern series.
Yep, 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 yep.
Mhm. All right. Do you
So
have
it's all.
anything else you want to say?
Um, I mean, this was awesome. This was actually my first podcast, so I hope I did well.
You did well. You did very well. And
Thank
that's all I
you.
have to ask. If you have anything else you want to say, feel free to say it.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed, and I hope that it helped someone who, might have been a little unsure about cosplaying or, still a little unsure about the whole blurred community and just do what you do, man. Just do what you do. There are so many communities welcoming who you are. The world needs to see who you are. Get out there, talk to people, make friends. It's really not, you know, as bad as it seems. Like I said, it's honestly like been one of the best icebreakers for me because I'm a very shy person at first, and it really does help you when you are surrounded by a community that you are familiar with, that you have already some kind of connections with. So if you're ever, if you want to go to cons but you're not sure, you might have a little anxiety, start small, go to smaller cons like local cons or most comic book shops have events, so kind of stay posted on event pages, anything like that. I mean, just it's all good, man.
Oh, yes. And your favorite community is the North Carolina community?
That's just well, that's where I'm from, so that's the one I'm most familiar with. But like I said, I would love to travel more and go to different cons in different areas. So
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you everybody for listening. This is Joy and Bowie Abiola at Raise Your Game Esports signing out.
bye.